To do the daily devotion from Sarah Young's Jesus Calling for September 30th, 2024. We've made it through another month. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but September was a doozy for me. But it's had just as much good as it has bad, so, pros and cons, right? All right, here we go. This one's kind of a long one. I am perpetually with you, taking care of you. That is the most important fact of your existence. I am not limited by time or space. My presence with you is a forever promise. You need not fear the future, for I am already there. When you make that quantum leap into eternity, you will find me awaiting you in heaven. Your future is in my hands. I release it to you day by day, moment by moment. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow. It's bothering me. Sorry, squirrel. I want you to live this day abundantly, seeing all there is to see, doing all there is to do. Don't be distracted by future concerns. Leave them to me. Each day of your life is a glorious gift. But so few people know how to live within the confines of today. Much of their energy for abundant living spills over the timeline into tomorrow's worries or past regrets. Their remaining energy is sufficient only for limping through the day, not for living it to the full. I am training you to keep your focus on my presence. In the present. This is how to receive abundant life, which flows freely from my throne of grace. Boy, she hit on a lot of different points in that one, didn't she? She references Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, John chapter 10, verse 10, and James chapter 4, verses 13 through 15. It's very easy for us in the world that we live in today to be so focused on tomorrow that we don't make the most of today. And the truth of it is we don't even know if we're going to see tomorrow. None of us know what today's going to bring, what tomorrow's going to bring. But yet, we make plans with the expectation that tomorrow will come. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've said it for a long time. It's okay to make plans, but we have to be flexible with those plans because things may not always go the way we think they're going to go. Things may not always seem in the moment the way things are actually going to be. We get so worried and stressed about making tomorrow better that we miss out on today. In my situation, my days may not be exciting, but they're peaceful. They're not stressful. Most days. We're only human. It's natural for us to worry and to have expectations. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't get stuck there. Don't get so stuck in the expectations that you ignore the value of the things that don't necessarily meet your expectations. Confirmation. Wow. Sorry, I've got the window open. I'm sure that was probably loud. And I know it's easier said than done. It's so hard to stay in the moment. It's so hard sometimes just to be happy with what you have. But I speak from 100% experience when I say that when all those things are taken away, yesterday, tomorrow, and if you can just take the time to focus on today, not to focus on the material, the money, the destination, it helps us enjoy the journey a little bit more. I understand that there are situations that come into our lives that cause us to worry, that cause us to stress. And the spirit realm doesn't judge us for that. They understand. They just don't want us to get consumed by it. Don't let it distract you from the possibilities that lie ahead. It may not look the way you thought it was going to look. It may not feel the way you thought it was going to feel. But just be grateful that you made it there. My life is nowhere near like I planned it to be. If you would have asked me 3 years ago that I'd be renting a room in a house that's not mine, unemployed, and in a sense stranded, I would have never thought. I would have called you a liar. But I've said it many times and I'll say it again. If you truly believe that everything happens for a reason, then you are in the place that you are for a reason. Whether it's to learn a lesson or to teach a lesson. He tells the Most High tells us very often to be still. And boy, that's a hard one for me. So I know without a doubt that I'm in the situation that I'm in because he's forcing me to be still. If you won't do it on your own, I'll put you in a situation where you don't have a choice. Right? And even though we may not see it that way all the time, you know, we have days or moments where, or at least I do, I don't think I'm so different that other people don't, I know other people experience it. It's all for our benefit in the long run. It may not seem that way at the time, but when you get through it and you can look back without the emotion, you can see the things that you learned or the reason why it happened. Emotions can blur our vision. You know how like when you're crying and the tears puddle up in your eyes and it makes it really hard to see, and you have to keep blinking to get all the tears out of your eyes so that you can see? It blurs our vision. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sadness, anger, stress, worry, doubt. Those are all things, all emotions that in the moment they cloud our vision. Confirmation. But if we can, in those times, in those moments, if we can just remind ourselves that there's a reason. I'm meant to learn something from this. Or, you know, this is an opportunity for me to heal. Or, you know, this is an opportunity for me to teach somebody else. There's a purpose in all of it. There's a purpose in the pain. There's a purpose in the stagnancy. I'm not going to say there's a purpose in the stress, because stress is just really wasted energy. And it took me a long time to be able to push the stress away. It's just in our nature. And for me, it's definitely in my nature when I'm just sitting. When I'm not able to get up and go, it stresses me out. Because for so long in my life, I had to get up and go. I was always on edge. You know, I had to be ready to jump at a moment's notice when somebody come in acting a fool, or, you know, somebody trying to hurt me, or, you know, tear me down. And a lot of times when we get out of those situations, we forget what that felt like. Or we very much remember what that felt like, and it's very hard for us to break out of that feeling. That the whole fight or flight. When you live your whole life like that, and then all of a sudden you don't have to be that way anymore, it's an adjustment. It takes time to reprogram your mind, your heart, your body, to believe, hey, it's okay to sit still for a few minutes. It's okay to rest. And I've learned to rest in His Word. And to trust that He will make a way. The universe will make a way. And my life is like, there's so many examples that I can give you where I was freaking out. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get there? And I've said it for a long time. And I even said it to my mother the last time I got to see her when she was in the hospital. Because I had hope. I really did. But He always comes through at the very last minute. That way, when it's all over and it's all said and done, we can't give anybody else the credit except Him. Wow, okay. I didn't expect for that to come up this morning. You know, I hadn't seen my mother in years. It had been years since I had seen her. And she had been unresponsive for 16 hours when my brother finally called me. I didn't even know that she had brain cancer. I knew nothing about it. But you know what? God woke her up in the middle of the night. And I got to spend 2 hours with her. I went and saw her that very next morning. And God gave me that chance. I had no idea what I was going to say to her. I didn't want it to be a mad visit, an angry visit. She didn't say very much. And I'll admit I wasn't really happy with what she was saying, because the things that she was talking about didn't seem important to me. I didn't get to be alone with her. Her spouse was there the whole time, watching me like a hawk, making sure that she didn't say anything. But God gave me that because He knew that I would need it. And He'll give you what you need. He knows what you need. Just humble yourself enough to ask for it. All right, I gotta go. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, If there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life. And you never know the impact it can have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.